Good afternoon. We're down here checking the goats real quick just to make sure there's not any issues with the breeding season. We are a few weeks into it by now, and everything seems to be doing all right. If you remember, or if you saw last year, this time of year, about 2 weeks into the season, we had a serious breakout of pink eye, and it was just in the billies. What in the world, buddy? What have you done? I'm gonna have to take him to the vet. Lisa's taken off to go get him some ointment for his eyes. If it is pink eye, that will treat it. If it's not, then we'll have to figure something else out. Our vet here, he doesn't see large animals hardly anymore, but I talked to him briefly, and he said this is going to be what we need to do. So she's going to get the ointment. We're going to go ahead and get some tetracycline.
We just saw one yesterday, so he gave us tetracycline. Well, what is this, Brett?
Tetracycline.
Tetracycline and an eye ointment. So we've treated that goat at our house. We brought him home, but now we're seeing today more goats.
Okay, we got off the phone with the vet, and his recommendation is to pull the billies, treat them, because they're the ones that we're seeing it in, and then go ahead and get the nannies out of here, keep them separate for a week or two, and then we put them back out. I'm sure it was from stress, because you know they're working. They spend their whole year for this moment, and so they were working hard, and it cost them. So I wanted to just keep an eye on them this year and make sure that we weren't having any issues like that. And other than a little bit of fighting, I saw one of the Spanish that had a real swelled up lump on the side of his head, and I haven't even noticed him again. So I don't know if it's healed or if he's, you know, laying up somewhere. But everybody seems to be doing okay. They look good. The nannies look good. I mean, they look, for this time of year, they look fine. They're not overly fat. They're not overly skinny, which is probably about right. I've been sitting here watching these right under this locust tree. And when one of those beans up there lets go, they hear it, and it starts clacking, clack, 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 and then it hits the ground. And when it hits the ground, those goats just go. Yeah, there they are. Want some more? Here they are. There's a beat up head right there, and a sore foot. What you get for fighting, little man?
He said, "Shut up, don't bother me. Don't bother me, I'm eating my beans."
Hey girl, look here, here's a fresh one. Yeah, there you go. There's some on the green leaves over here. We'll see if I can get them, see if they are interested in these more. Oh, there we go. They may not be ready to let go here. Oh yeah, oh they are. Look at that. Now your first thought would be, oh no, don't do that. That's going to spread the locusts. Okay. Girl. They already ate all those that I dumped on the ground. See if I can get some more to fall. All right, ladies, you ready? Ow. Let me get those thorns out of there, sweetheart. I'm still kind of battling the groups splitting, and only way to solve that for me is to put them in smaller pastures, and I just can't do it right now because we've got other things going on at the same time, and for labor reasons it's easier to leave them all right here until we're kind of through this section of our year. Just so happens this is breeding season, and that allows us to kind of give them a little space, which it may help with the stress between the billies during breeding season. I don't know. I think last year was just a strange year, an odd year. If you watched anybody else's channel, there was a lot of pink eye going around during that time of year. So I don't know if the conditions were all right or what, but it was just kind of a strange year. We've never had anything like that here, at least of any significance. And we always just kind of let it run its course in our cattle. If it really hurts them and they don't breed back, then they fall out of the herd. Consequently, we don't have very much of an issue with that. Everything looks pretty good. I'm anxious to test the myotonic crosses in the feeding at the end of the season for them to go to market, and that'll be strictly the wethers. I'm anxious to kind of see if they look different or anything like that. It's not going to be real scientific where I bring them in and weigh them, and then I weigh the Spanish, and then I keep track of how much feed I give each of them and all that kind of junk. It won't be like that. It'll be just an eyeball thing. And so they have an advantage already because they're more slick-haired. You can kind of see this one out this way, the red and white. They're more slick-haired, and so you're going to be able to see more condition on them or less condition easier. You know, these goats are a lot like the deer. When the acorns are ready and we get a big wind, you can bet the deer are going to the acorns because they know the wind knocked them down. These goats are doing the same thing. You got all these beans in the trees, and we got a little bit of wind around here today, and they're just kind of hanging under the trees. If they're not hanging there, they're stopping and they're checking them. See, there went one that just fell. And all four of them rushed for it, and the one got it. They're not stupid. Honey locusts are kind of amazing. Now, you don't want too many of them, but if there's a little bit, wow, utilize it. You know, those things are 17% sugar content and around 12% protein with a TDN of 68%. And it's free. It just grows. So, things are clearly very calm, today at least. They're all just taking it easy. You can see there's some breeding activity going on, but it's not in full swing yet. I'm not seeing any signs of problems. Hopefully, that continues to be the case. Last year, because of the pink eye problem and being forced to separate the billies and the nannies for 2 weeks in the middle of the breeding season, our kidding season ended up being really extended and spread out. We didn't much care for that, so we really hope that nothing will go wrong this year. And then we can go back to a more concentrated, shorter kidding season so we can get her done and move on. It's really good to see them calm and taking advantage of their surroundings. As I've said, we'll keep monitoring them and make adjustments if we need to for their health and their nutrition. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.